Hey everybody, it's myafterschooltoys.com with another toy review, and today we've got a special one. We're talking about the G.I. Joe Real American Hero Command Center Headquarters. And what we're going to do is take a look at the front, the inside, the top, everything about this awesome playset from the 80s. So let's go in here and start taking a look. We're going to look at the front part here. We can see a metallic molded wall, molded out of plastic, but made to look like metallic with rivets in it. It's got spotlight, machine guns, and these also came with little surveillance cameras that clip to the top, and unfortunately I have them put away with another set, but those also would go on the top. You can see rock and roll on the heavy cannon, and then there's grunt using the big lasers in the front, and these lasers were positionable. Move them back and forth, down, up. Very cool. We can see the good old American flag. And then the other side is also very similar, with also the port for a cannon from a tank to go. Which was cool because in the commercial they actually show the tank run up into it and the cannon fits right inside that slot. So that's pretty cool. Okay, we're going to look at this little helipad that also came with it here. I just have the shark on it just for show. But it was just a little pad that you could land a helicopter on or another vehicle. And that's the front. So we're going to swing this baby around and we're going to look at the inside of it. Okay, so here's a quick aerial view of the base, just so we can kind of see just how big it is. From left to right on the inside. And now let's take some close-up looks at some of the features of the base. Alright, so we're going to start off looking at the inside of the headquarters here with the tank bay. And as we mentioned before, right there behind CoverGirl's head is the slot for the tank cannon to go into. You can see there's some ramps going up the front. And then on the side here, there is a little weapons rack where you could hang some weapons on. And then one thing that was interesting about this, and I never know if this is really what it was intended for or not, but there is a lift-up panel here for storage, and that's where I kept all the file cards. Just like that, so that was a good place for that. This particular part of the base is not so exciting when there's not a tank in it. But that is very cool that it has little stops right here for the tank, so if it drives up, it'll hit those little wedges. And then the gun fits nicely in that port. Alright, so that is the tank dock right there. And let's move on to another section. Okay, so in the back of the headquarters is a box here, and this was a storage box. Has a lift up top that comes off like this. Oops. And then inside there were trays where you could hide weapons. There was 1 and 2 trays right there. So it was a cool place to put G.I. Joe weapons. If you were like me, you got a lot of the battle pack G.I. Joe weapons things where you could put a lot of weapons in storage. So that was cool to have. It also has a nice little radar set up here for the command center part. Okay, so let's look at bay number 2 right here. We have Jeep inside here. We have the vamp. Now underneath the Jeep here, you can see there's a platform that's got divots in it for the wheels to slide in. And that's good, that keeps it in place, because there is a button here marked elevator that when you pull it, it pulls up the Jeep. And then it can be worked on underneath, and it's just kind of cool. I thought it was a cool little service bay for the G.I. Joe smaller vehicles. You can put the motorcycle in here, because if you lower it down and look, there's a divot for the motorcycle to set it. So I thought of everything with this one. Very cool. Little guideposts here as well. So that is bay number 2. Okay, so inside the base here we can see the computer command center here. And it had some cool little features here. There are stickers on the side for like a little map board here, as you can see Wild Bill looking at. Kind of a mission board. And then there were some other circuitry stickers here. And then, if you flipped up this part, you revealed the computer center. And I really like the bottom part of the computer center. There's like surveillance cameras and there's like a comm link and everything. But then up on the top here, there's like a battle picture with the words Fooch and Brown on it. So, I don't know. That just kind of seemed a little corny, but hey, it kind of goes along with the cartoon, so still cool. So that's the computer command center, and you can see, again, you have the satellite here to send out the link. But I really like the little desk. I think that's a cool feature, and I like the fact that you can flip down the computer board as well. Very cool. Alright, let's go to the next section. Alright, so here we have the stockade. You can see Sergeant Slaughter is guarding outside here, and I'll give you a look in the top here. You can see Cobra Commander and a Crimson Guard. Like that. It was cool that there were beds inside because you could, in theory, remove all of the jail cell around it and use them just as beds for G.I. Joe if you wanted to. As a bunk. Let's see if we can move in a little closer here. There is a door in the front, right here, that works. It's a little tricky, so I might knock over a figure, but that's alright. Oh, there we go. Alright, so the door opens and closes to the stockade. And you can see both beds inside. There we go. I just took out rock and roll, but that's okay. And that is the stockade. Now over here you can see there are steps. Let's pick up rock and roll here. There are steps leading up to the big laser cannon. Right there for rock and roll. Stand them up right there. And then you can get a look at the laser, the big one on the inside. And then there's like a little mechanical box here that lifts up. And you can see some of the inner workings, some of the motors as well. And that is basically all the features here inside the base. It's really, really cool. You could fit tons of G.I. Joes in here. There's space for everybody. Space in chairs and beds, on guns, all over the place. So very, very cool set. One of my favorite sets for G.I. Joe by far. So that is our review of the G.I. Joe Command Headquarters. I hope you enjoyed it. And we have lots more G.I. Joe as well as other toys on myafterschooltoys.com. So come check us out there. And until next video, long live the 80s.